Sex Crimes Unit detectives have charged a Calgary man with sexually assaulting 3 boys dating back to the mid-2000s. In December 2011, the Calgary Police Service received a complaint from a 17-year-old male who claimed he was the victim of sexual abuse between October 2007 and June 2009. An investigation was launched and subsequently 2 additional victims were identified. The additional victims, who were 10 and 14 years old at the time, alleged they were repeatedly sexually assaulted. The 14-year-old starting in 2006 and the 10-year-old starting in 2010. All 3 victims were associated to the accused through mutual acquaintances. The assaults allegedly occurred at various locations in Calgary and in several surrounding communities. On Monday, September 10, 2012, police arrested Arnold James Somers, 69 years old, and charged him with 14 offenses, including sexual assault, sexual interference with a child under 14, invitation to sexual touching, and indecent exposure to a person under 14. Somers, who also goes by the name Jim Somers, has been remanded into custody, and his next court appearance is on Wednesday, September 12, 2012. Questions?
Can you talk about his criminal history?
He's known to police.
He's been convicted before, is that right?
My understanding is he's been convicted.
Of molestation.
I don't know the exact charge, similar type offense.
Are you able to give us any more of that history?
I
I know he's been to the court system on those kind of charges before. I just wasn't sure how much you could say about that.
I can't elaborate on. I don't know the specifics.
How was he known to the victims?
He was known to the victims through adult acquaintances.
Can you specify that at all?
My understanding is that he befriended or knew the adults, and that's how he started relationships with the children.
Knew the adults. Can you say that was parental? Knew their parents, or?
Yes, the parents of the victims.
So these kids would have been the children of friends of his? Is that fair to say?
It's fair to say that he had relationships with these adults, and that the victims are the children of these adult acquaintances or friends.
The victims known to each other?
The 17-year-old is, if you want a separate, the 10 and 14-year-old do know each other.
Are they brothers?
They're related to each other.
Do you know why the delay with the kids coming forward?
I don't know the exact reason for the delay. I do know that, based on my experience, there's a number of reasons why people don't report sexual abuse or sexual assault to the police immediately. And we encourage people who have been victims of sexual assault or sexual abuse to report those incidents to the police so we can investigate them.
Do you know if it was the kids' parents or adults that approached the police? Did they trust their...
My understanding is in the case of the 17-year-old, he was the one who approached police.
Sorry if I missed it, but can you tell us over how long a period of time these offenses occurred?
So it was in the mid-2000s. For the 17-year-old, it was between 2007 and 2009, so approximately 2-year period. And for the 10 and 14-year-old, it's between 2006 and 2010.
And were these one-offs, or was it a number of over that period of time?
There was a number of events that occurred during those years.
Do you have any knowledge of this, considering he has at least been charged with similar things in the past, why he was able to, I guess, have access to kids?
In this particular case, the access, as I mentioned, was gained through the trust of the adults, and so in those types of circumstances, it's not like he was required to have a criminal history check or anything like that.
Was he babysitting these kids?
No, he was not, but he was, in the sense of any adult in the company of a child is in a position of trust. This is not an instance where the Mr. Somers was a teacher or a coach or anything like that. I don't know what his current employment is.
Can you elaborate on where these offenses took place? Was it at the victims' homes, or was it at his home?
My understanding is that these happened in a number of different places, including vehicles, in the Mr. Somers' home, and I believe at a public park. I'm not aware of the specifics as to beyond that.
Are you
We're aware there may be other victims. Those individuals have not come forward. We would encourage anyone who's the victim of any sort of sexual offense, sexual abuse, sexual assault, to report those incidents to police.
As far as you know, there's nothing in place preventing him from being around kids. There's no legal restrictions against him.
For these offenses, I'm not aware of any court-imposed conditions.
Yeah, just wondering ahead of time if that, because my understanding he was on tried for similar things a number of years ago. So as far as you know, there's nothing.
As far as I know, during these events, there was no court-imposed restrictions on him.
He was not related to the victims. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. He's not related to the victims.
For police purposes, can you tell us whether he befriended the adults as a way to get at these children, or was that just a matter of course that he made friends and then to benefit the children?
We suspect that the vehicle he used to gain access to the children was to befriend the adults and gain their trust.
So that was the purpose, to go after the children versus making friendships with adults?
I can't speculate on what his motivation was, but we do know that in these cases he did gain the trust of the adults, which subsequently led to his ability to have access to the children.
Sorry, I may have misheard you. Did you say something like using a vehicle to gain access to the parents?
No, my understanding is the particulars of some of the events, as I said earlier, occur a number of instances throughout the years. Some of those events occurred in a vehicle. Thank you.